Hey there, I'm Jessica Miller, 28, and I've learned that sometimes the hardest moments can lead to the most beautiful changes. Growing up in a family where my brother was always the star taught me to expect less, to shrink myself to fit their expectations. But nothing could have prepared me for the sting of my parents' betrayal on my wedding day. A single note that shattered my heart. They thought they could ruin my big day, but they didn't know who I was marrying or the strength I'd find. I turned their absence into a celebration of love and chosen family, and I want to share that journey with you. If you've ever felt overlooked or had to stand up for yourself, this story's for you. I grew up in a cozy 2-story house in a quiet Cleveland suburb, the kind of place where neighbors wave and kids ride bikes until the streetlights come on. But inside our home, the warmth was uneven. My parents, Tom and Linda Miller, ran a small hardware store, and while we weren't rich, we were comfortable. My younger brother Ethan was their pride and joy, the son Dad dreamed would take over the family business. With his sandy blonde hair and easy grin, Ethan could do no wrong. When he won a Little League game, the house filled with cheers. When he got a C in math, Mom called it a learning experience. Me? I was the responsible one, with my curly brown hair and hazel eyes, always trying harder to be seen. In 5th grade, I won a citywide essay contest, clutching my certificate with pride. But Dad barely looked up from Ethan's baseball stats. "That's nice, Jess," Mom said, already turning to ask Ethan about his game. By high school, I celebrated my victories alone: valedictorian, debate team captain, a full scholarship to Ohio State. My parents missed my graduation because Ethan had a track meet. "He needs us there," Mom said, as if my milestone didn't matter. Money was always tight, or so they said when I needed something. My prom dress came from a thrift store, my books from library sales, while Ethan got new running shoes or a summer sports camp in Michigan. Dad would grumble about bills, but somehow, funds appeared for Ethan's latest passion. "Your brother's got potential," Mom would say, her voice soft but firm, as if my dreams were less real. I worked weekends at a diner, saving every tip for college supplies, determined to make my own way. Ohio State was my escape, a chance to breathe away from the shadow of Ethan's spotlight. I majored in public relations, worked 2 jobs, mornings at a campus cafe, evenings tutoring, and graduated with honors. My parents sent a card, but Ethan's regional track meet kept them away. "Family priorities," Dad texted, and I cried alone in my dorm. After college, I landed a job at a fast-growing PR firm in Boston. The $65,000 starting salary felt like a fortune, and I moved into a tiny apartment with a roommate thrilled to be free. My parents were stunned. "Boston? That's so far," Mom said, her voice cracking like I'd betrayed them. "You're leaving us behind." Dad called my job fluffy nonsense, saying I should have stayed in Cleveland to help the family. Meanwhile, Ethan flunked out of community college, chasing dreams of being a fitness influencer, and my parents paid for his gym equipment and branding courses. Over the next 2 years, I built a career, earning promotions while Ethan burned through their savings on failed ventures: a gym blog, a protein shake line, a personal training app. Each flop was a stepping stone, Mom said, while my raises were lucky breaks. During a tense Christmas visit, I learned they'd taken a loan against the house for Ethan's latest idea: a fitness studio. "He's figuring it out," Dad said when I questioned it. "You wouldn't understand, Jess. You've always had it easy." Easy? I'd worked myself to the bone. I left early, my heart heavy, knowing the gap between us was more than miles. I still craved their love, sending cards and calling on holidays, but their replies were short, always circling back to Ethan. By 27, I was a senior PR manager, living in a small but sunny Boston apartment, surrounded by friends who felt like family. Yet the ache of being unseen lingered, a quiet bruise I carried. Then I met Ryan Carter, and everything changed. It was at a charity auction for a local children's hospital, where I was managing the PR. Rushing to fix a display, I bumped into him, spilling coffee on his jacket. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," I gasped. He laughed. his green eyes warm. "No worries. You just saved me from bidding on a weird lamp." His kindness disarmed me. Ryan said he worked in property development, asked about my job, and listened like he really cared. When he asked me to dinner, I said yes, charmed by his down-to-earth vibe. He picked a cozy taco place, not some fancy spot, and we talked for hours about my work, my dreams, his love for mentoring kids at a community center. Ryan was different. He drove a simple SUV, lived in a modest condo, and planned thoughtful dates, picnics, bookstore visits, volunteering at a youth program. 6 months in, I was head over heels. Then, at a gala for a housing nonprofit, I noticed people treating him like royalty. Politicians, CEOs, even the event staff. "Ryan, why does everyone know you?" I asked. He sighed, looking nervous. "I should have told you. I'm Ryan Carter of Carter Properties." My jaw dropped. Carter Properties owned half of Boston's skyline, hotels, offices, condos worth billions. "Why hide it?" I asked, hurt. "I wanted you to know me, not my last name," he said. "People change when they hear Carter. I didn't want that with you." I needed time to process. My family scraped by, his built empires. But Ryan was still the guy who helped kids plant gardens, who remembered I loved iced latte, who cheered my late-night work stories. His wealth didn't change that. "No more secrets," I said, and he promised. A year later, Ryan proposed at the community center, kneeling by a flower bed he'd helped the kids plant. "Jessica, you're my home, my strength, my everything. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed as I nodded, the simple diamond ring sparkling in the sunlight. We planned a small wedding for 120 guests at a historic seaside estate in Cape Cod, restored by Ryan's family for community events. His parents, David and Susan Carter, were warm and grounded, thrilled to meet me. "You make Ryan shine," Susan said, hugging me at their cozy Cape Cod home. They supported our vision for a heartfelt, not flashy wedding. I hoped my family would too, but deep down I braced for disappointment. I called Mom and Dad to share the news, my hands shaking. "I'm engaged to Ryan," I said, heart racing. Silence. "Who's he?" Mom asked, her voice flat. "He works in property development. We met at a charity event." Dad grunted. "Sounds risky. Does he have a stable job?" I swallowed my hurt. "He's successful, Dad. Can you come to Boston next month to meet him?" They agreed, but their tone was cool. No joy, no questions about the ring or my happiness. When they visited, dinner at our favorite bistro was strained. Mom grilled Ryan about his finances. Dad asked if he'd settle in Cleveland, and Ethan smirked. "Nice catch, Jess. Bet he's loaded." Ryan stayed calm, talking about his work with affordable housing, but Mom dismissed it as idealistic. Ethan's jabs continued, and I cut in. "We're fine, Mom. Ryan supports my career." The visit ended with no warmth, just Mom's parting shot. "Marriage is a big step, Jess. Don't rush." When we invited them to Boston for wedding planning, we hosted at Ryan's parents' townhouse to be honest about his background. Their eyes widened at the Carter name. "You didn't say he was that Carter," Mom whispered, her tone sharp. Suddenly, they were all in. Mom suggesting extravagant venues, Dad pitching Ethan's fitness studio to David. "He's got big ideas," Dad said, ignoring my eye roll. They pushed to invite 30 extra guests, Dad's business buddies, cousins I barely knew. "This is our wedding, not a networking event," I said, but Mom insisted, "These connections matter, Jess." When I held firm, she snapped, "You're being ungrateful after all we've done." The call ended with her hinting they might skip the wedding if I didn't budge. Ryan hugged me. "They'll come. They're your family." A week before the wedding, they arrived in Boston, supposedly to help. Instead, they shopped and asked Ryan for intros to his contacts. At the rehearsal dinner, Mom announced she'd invited her extra guests anyway. "They're excited to meet the Carters," she said. I was livid. "They're not invited, Mom. We set the guest list months ago." Dad scoffed. Don't be selfish, Jess. Ethan laughed. You're acting all high and mighty now that you're marrying Rich. Years of being sidelined boiled over. High and mighty? I worked for everything I have while you poured money into Ethan's failures. This is my day, and I'm done letting you control it. Mom's face hardened. If that's how you feel, maybe we don't belong here. I stood firm. That's your choice. This wedding happens my way. They stormed out, and I cried in Ryan's arms, torn between grief and relief. The morning of my wedding, I woke in a hotel suite, sunlight streaming in, my bridesmaids buzzing with excitement. But worry gnawed at me. My parents hadn't called since our fight. My best friend Claire tried their hotel. No answer. She called Ethan's room. Same. Maybe they're at breakfast, I said, but my voice shook. At 10 a.m., Claire called the front desk. They checked out at 6 a.m., the clerk said, mentioning a note left for me. My heart sank. Claire retrieved it, her face grim as she handed me the envelope. Inside, Mom's neat handwriting read, "We'll see how you face your guests without us there." A post-it added they'd used Ethan's business fund for a last-minute London trip, claiming I'd disrespected them. The words hit like a punch, their cruelty deliberate, meant to shame me. I sank onto the bed, tears falling. How could they do this? I whispered. Claire hugged me. They don't deserve you, Jess. I called Ryan, sobbing. Forget bad luck, he said. I'm coming. He arrived, tie undone, and held me tight. This is our day. They can't take that. His parents, David and Susan, rushed over. Susan took my hands. I can't replace your mom, but I'd be honored to help you get ready. David added, I'd love to walk you down the aisle if you'll have me. Their kindness cracked my heart open in a new way. As Susan helped with my veil, sharing stories of her own wedding, I felt cared for, seen. Then a knock came. My Aunt Laura, Mom's estranged sister, stood there, holding a small box. Ryan called me, she said. I haven't seen you in years, but I couldn't miss this. She'd fought with Mom over family money and been cut off, but Ryan had tracked her down. Your parents haven't changed, she said, hugging me. But you have. At the Cape Cod estate, the garden glowed with lilies and fairy lights. Guests whispered about my parents' absence, but I focused on Ryan at the altar, his smile grounding me. David walked me down the aisle, his arms steady. When the officiant asked, Who gives this woman? He said, Her aunt, my wife, and I do. His voice warm. Laura and Susan teared up in the front row. Ryan's vows made me cry. Jessica, I promise to lift you up, to love you fiercely, to build a family where you're always enough. My vows echoed his. Ryan, I promise a home where love doesn't come with conditions, where we choose each other every day. The crowd cheered as we kissed, and I felt free. The reception was magical. Twinkling lights, a jazz band, tables overflowing with flowers. Susan had removed the empty family table, sparing me the reminder. For the parent-child dance, David suggested a group dance for all parental figures, and soon the floor was filled with parents and kids celebrating love in all forms. Ryan's speech stole the show. Family isn't just blood, it's who shows up. Jessica, your strength turns pain into beauty. To my wife, who's shown me what love really means. Guests clapped, and I saw Laura wipe tears, David and Susan beaming. Society reporters, there for the Carter name, snapped photos, but I didn't care. This was our day. On our honeymoon in Costa Rica, we unplugged. No phones, just beaches, rainforests, and each other. Ryan's love soothed the hurt, though my parents' notes still stung in quiet moments. They chose themselves, he said one night, stars above us. You chose love. Back in Boston, we learned our wedding had gone viral. A news segment on Modern Families featured David walking me down the aisle, calling it a heartwarming twist. My parents in London saw it and flooded my phone. 73 calls, 30 voicemails. Mom's first message was frantic. Jessica, we saw your wedding on TV. You didn't tell us Ryan was that Carter. Others demanded I call. offering fake apologies, never owning their cruelty. They showed up at our new condo, a wedding gift from Ryan's parents, unannounced. Mom, in a new dress, tried to hug me. I stepped back. "You left me on my wedding day." Dad stammered, "It was a misunderstanding." I read their note aloud, my voice steady. "That's not a misunderstanding. It was meant to hurt me." Ethan shrugged, eyeing our view. "Nice place. Marrying rich suits you." Ryan snapped, "Enough. You humiliated her. This isn't about your connections." Mom's fake tears came. "We're sorry, Jess. Can't we move on?" Dad added, "Ethan's got a new fitness app. Maybe Ryan's dad could invest?" I laughed, incredulous. "You ditched my wedding for London, and now you want favors? No." I set terms. Real apologies, no manipulation, or no relationship. They left, stunned, promising to try. Over the next year, I started my own PR firm, focusing on women-led nonprofits. With Ryan's support and David's advice, I signed clients like a domestic violence shelter, their campaign boosting donations by 50%. My parents called occasionally, acting like nothing happened, but I kept boundaries firm. Ethan's app failed. They bailed him out again. Aunt Laura became my rock, sharing her own story of breaking free. "You can't change them," she said, "but you can choose your peace." When Ryan and I learned we were expecting, joy mixed with caution. David and Susan sent gifts, asking how they could help. My parents assumed they'd be hands-on grandparents, but I set rules. No favoritism, no control. "Our baby deserves unconditional love," I told them. They bristled, but I stood firm. My wedding day hurt, taught me I could build a family on my terms, with Ryan, Laura, David, Susan, and friends who show up. That note didn't break me. It set me free to choose love over pain. If you faced family betrayal or found strength in chosen family, share below. You're not alone. Hit like, subscribe, and let's keep building families that lift us up.